Manchester United continued their preparations for the 2026-27 season with another demanding day of work at the Carrington training complex, as Michael Carrick intensified preparations ahead of the club's pre-season schedule. There was a clear sense of purpose throughout the session, with every drill reflecting the standards Carrick wants to establish as he builds a squad capable of challenging at the very highest level once again. The biggest talking point of the day was undoubtedly the first training session of new signing Santos following his move from Chelsea. All eyes were on the Brazilian midfielder as he stepped onto the Carrington pitches, wearing Manchester United colours for the first time. Carrick and his coaching staff gave Santos a warm welcome before immediately integrating him into the group's tactical work, showing there will be no slow introduction for the talented midfielder. His energy, composure in possession and willingness to learn were noticeable throughout the session as he began developing an understanding with his new teammates. Today's training was far from a routine fitness workout. Carrick placed heavy emphasis on high-intensity tactical drills designed to improve the team's shape both in and out of possession. Players repeatedly worked on pressing triggers, quick transitions, positional rotations and coordinated movement across the pitch. Defensive organisation also received significant attention, with the coaching staff spending considerable time rehearsing set-piece routines, corner-blocking systems and dead ball situations that could prove decisive during the Premier League campaign. The session concluded with demanding gym work as United continue building the physical conditioning required for another long and challenging season. The atmosphere around Carrington appears increasingly optimistic. Every session under Carrick seems to reinforce the club's long-term ambition of restoring Manchester United to the summit of English football. The project is not simply about qualifying for Europe again, it is about creating a squad capable of competing consistently for the Premier League title by 2028, while becoming genuine contenders in European competition. Recruitment, coaching standards and player development all appear aligned with that vision, and every training session is another step towards that objective. Away from the training pitch, Manchester United's transfer plans continue to gather momentum. Although strengthening midfield has been the club's primary focus throughout the summer, attention is also turning towards the attack. Crysencio Somerville remains United's #1 target for the left-wing position. Initial exploratory discussions have already taken place with West Ham United regarding the Netherlands international, although several Premier League clubs are monitoring his situation. Following the Netherlands' elimination from the FIFA World Cup by Morocco, greater clarity over Somerville's future is expected in the coming weeks. His pace, direct running, creativity, and ability to unsettle defenders make him an exciting option for Carrick's attacking system, and he could provide the kind of width and unpredictability United have been searching for. Another midfielder firmly on United's radar is Manu Kone. Roma have reportedly placed a €55 million valuation on the French international as the Italian club considers player sales due to financial pressures linked to UEFA regulations. Kone remains highly admired by Manchester United's recruitment department after the club shifted its transfer strategy. His athleticism, defensive intelligence, and ball progression would add another dimension to Carrick's midfield, making him an attractive option if negotiations become financially achievable. Meanwhile, Bournemouth are pushing for a decision from Alex Scott regarding his future during the early stages of pre-season. That development could accelerate Manchester United's next move in the market. Reports suggest it would not be surprising if United soon progressed to formal discussions should they decide to intensify their interest. Scott has long been regarded as one of England's brightest young midfielders, combining technical quality, intelligence and relentless work rate. He represents exactly the type of young British talent capable of becoming a key figure at Old Trafford for many years. Looking at the bigger picture, Manchester United's transfer strategy appears increasingly clear. The club is targeting players who are young, technically gifted, tactically intelligent, and hungry to succeed, rather than simply pursuing established superstars. That approach mirrors the long-term vision Carrick and the football department are trying to build, creating a squad capable of competing for trophies season after season instead of relying on short-term fixes. In my view, Santos could prove to be one of the smartest signings of the summer. He possesses the aggression, technical ability and maturity required to thrive in the Premier League, and working under Michael Carrick could accelerate his development even further. If United can also strengthen the left wing with a player such as Somerville, while adding another quality midfielder like Manu Kone or Alex Scott, the squad would look significantly stronger heading into the new campaign. Recruitment is moving in a direction that prioritizes balance, intensity, and long-term success, rather than simply adding big names. What do you make of Santos' first day at Carrington? Should Michael Carrick build his midfield around the Brazilian immediately or ease him into Premier League football? If United can sign only one more midfielder, would you choose Manu Kone or Alex Scott? And finally, do you believe Crescencio Somerville is the perfect left-wing signing, or is there another player you would rather see wearing the famous red shirt? Let us know your thoughts, Reds. Meanwhile, Manchester United have already informed Carlos Balaba of their intention to sign him during the current summer transfer window, with verbal communication understood to have taken place between the club and the players' representatives. The Brighton midfielder is fully aware of United's interest, and his camp has been kept updated on the club's plans as they continue working behind the scenes to strengthen the squad ahead of the new Premier League season. Balaba has emerged as one of Manchester United's priority midfield targets after impressing with his athleticism, ball-winning ability, composure in possession, and intelligence both in and out of possession. The 21-year-old is regarded as a midfielder capable of operating as a defensive shield in front of the back four, while also progressing the ball through midfield, making him an ideal fit for the profile United are looking to add this summer. Sources indicate that the players' camp has welcomed Manchester United's interest, although no formal agreement has yet been reached between the two clubs. At this stage, discussions have focused primarily on making Balaba aware of United's long-term project and the role the club believes he could play in the future of the team. The next major step in the process now depends on the approval of Manchester United's incoming manager. While recruitment staff have identified Balaba as a key target, the club wants the new head coach to have the final say before committing significant resources to a transfer. Once that approval is given, United are expected to step up negotiations and determine whether a deal can be reached with Brighton. Brighton are under no pressure to sell one of their most valuable players and are expected to demand a substantial transfer fee. However, Manchester United remain attentive to the situation and are prepared to explore every possible avenue if they receive the green light to proceed. Club officials believe Balaba possesses the qualities needed to become a long-term cornerstone of the midfield and view him as a player who could develop into one of the Premier League's best in his position. United's recruitment department has been closely monitoring Balaba's development, with reports highlighting his physical presence, ability to recover possession, progressive passing and maturity despite his young age. The club believes those attributes would significantly strengthen the midfield while providing the energy and defensive stability required to compete consistently at the highest level. Away from the first-team transfer plans, Manchester United are also on the verge of completing the signing of highly rated Colombian youngster Orozco. The exciting midfielder has already travelled to England and is currently settling into his new surroundings before officially becoming a Manchester United player. Orozco turns 18 on Monday, allowing the club to complete his formal registration in accordance with international transfer regulations. Once the paperwork is finalised, he is expected to begin training at Carrington immediately as part of his integration into Manchester United's development pathway. The club's coaching staff are eager to assess the teenager during his first weeks in England, helping him adapt to a new footballing environment while introducing him to the standards expected throughout the academy and first-team structure. United believe he possesses outstanding technical ability, confidence on the ball, and significant long-term potential. Manchester United see Orozco as another strategic investment in the future, continuing the club's commitment to identifying and recruiting elite young talent from around the world before they reach their full potential.